I don't usually record these, but I'll just record them. I do these differently. I've done things differently each time. Today, I just wanted to break it down into increments of what you can do in your power hour when you have an hour to give, or you can split it up into 20, 20, 20. So what's not going to be included in this power hour is your personal development and your workout, because I feel like those are things that you should just be doing, non-negotiables. So I'm going to really talk about the action-based steps today. Mm-hmm. So the very first thing I want you to start off with is adding, so hold on, step one is adding 1 to 3 new friends. Okay? So I'm going to give you literal times. And if you're not able to do this like action step wise right now, then I'm just going to give you the steps, and then I can just break it down, and then you would give yourself. So I give myself a time limit because I would be searching forever. So I'm going to say about 5 minutes for that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So what I would do is I'll just share my screen, and I'll go on to, let's see if my Facebook is even up. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
What the heck is that all about? My computer's acting really, really slow right now. Okay. Let me see if I can share. What are you doing? What are you doing, sissy? Why is my Facebook? Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this and then go back and share. What? Wow. Okay. She's getting all her toys out. She's like, I don't know why that's
partying.
Okay. Let me see. Share screen. Why is my, oh, right here. So yeah. Do you see the Facebook page?
Yes.
Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay. You can do this in multiple ways. You can start off with going to different groups. So I look up things that I'm interested in. Like I have a Boston Terrier, so I'm part of a Boston Terrier group. Boston Terrier Addicts. I don't even know if I'm part of that group. See, my computer's being really slow right now. So that's one way I do it. I go in there. I make a comment here or there. I say, oh, your puppy's so cute. That's just like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work because my computer is like, I have too many things. Let me try to shut some stuff down. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's saying Facebook.
It's not working for
you. So here's the list that I have that I can give you too. It's like a checklist.
That I have.
Okay, yes. So you want to go right directly off this list. So you want to add 2 to 5 people, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. But I wanted to show you some steps. Another thing that I do is, I do this pretty common often, is I'll go through anyone that's liked my posts. So I've had quite a bit of some posts. So the reason that I did on Monday, oh my Lord, this is like so slow. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
On Monday, where I've been asking a lot of questions, is because that's a gateway for me to go back and ask. So like, for example, I posted, oh my Lord, this is really bad. It's not even like, okay, there we go. Oh my Lord. I posted a video about me burning my food. You saw me do that.
Yeah.
I posted, so I'm gonna go back through these people and see if I've had conversations with them recently. I know Christina Phillips is a coach. I go like this, I right click. Oh my Lord, this is killing me. I go right click, and then I open in a new tab, and I do this all at once. So I don't look at it yet. I know Amanda Jewell and I talked about coaching. She said she wants to wait till the summer, so I know exactly who that is. Cassie Mendoza. I don't remember. Sometimes I click on their name, and if it says she's a coach, mm-hmm. I won't even like go there. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna see who that is. I remember, like, these names are familiar, but I honestly can't say if they might even be in our downline, just because I have so many people in my downline. Do you know what I mean? So I just have to kind of look. And I just have some other, Christina's in our downline. Jamie L, I think she might be a coach. Nope, she's not. So this is what I do. This is actually not making new friends. So this is probably, I'm failing on this part, but this is how I'm inviting people, like going back and restarting conversations. So that's the next step. So I kind of mix these two together, and then I'll kind of like look around and see. But anyhow, I go through these. So these are going to be where I start when I start to do my invites, and when I start to restart my 5-step invitation process. I'm going to be looking off of this post. And then I did another post where I had 200 and something comments, which is like completely unheard of. But I just asked him a question. I just asked him a question about, you know, only 7% of you are seeing my posts. Right here, see, 249 comments. But again, a lot of those are my coaches. A lot of those are people that are already joining me. But I want to make sure I can restart those conversations. So I'd say simply something like this, and I'll write it down right in this thing. Oh my Lord, I'm so sorry. This is like, it's like, please move the window. You got to be kidding me. Okay. Moving it away. Okay. Why is it not? I'm going to have to stop. I don't even know where my, here we go. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's like gone. So pause the share. No, I want to stop the share. How come I can't see you? This is so weird. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna step right here. So I'm gonna say like, hey, thank you so much for commenting on my post this week, because I might not get to it the next day. You know, on my post this week about my burnt food or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is nice to know my hot mess life is, you know, is, I don't know, I might say is normal, and you can relate. By the way, haven't chatted with you in a long time. How are you? So this is where, when we did the social media like the social media thing that I gave you, where it's so important that you're asking lots of questions, because this is not I'm not getting this. Or I would say something like, thanks so much for commenting on seeing my posts. You know, I know that, you know, I wanted to make sure that you're seeing my posts. I realize that we haven't chatted in a while. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right.
So then they're going to be like, oh, she did do that because she cares about me. Oh, so it's really important that you're asking questions that they can talk about themselves, so that you can go back and make a list. So very first thing, one thing I forgot to say in the very beginning is step one, get a piece of paper out and like start writing lists. And I don't care if it's like, if you're an Excel person, a guru, whatever, you have to start making lists. It could be paper and pencil. Okay, so that's something that I do. I also, so this is on someone who commented on my post, or even someone who liked it. I'd say, hey girl, thank you so much for liking my posts. It means so much to me to have the support in this new lifestyle, or whatever it is that you're doing, AKA my workout. Does this make sense?
It does. How often do you reconnect with people? Like I've actually been going through my Facebook friends list, and like I'll start conversations with people, not necessarily talking about Beachbody, but just starting conversations and connecting with them. And then you know, if I feel good about all invites, I try to do, you know, a couple invites a day. But like some of them, because I don't have a lot of people that I'm following, sometimes I'm going back to the same people. But I have increased my friends list by 70 since January, and I have like a whole handful of people that haven't accepted my friend request because I really don't know them.
So yeah, that would, you need to go back to them and be like, that's what I like. I started realizing that I never made connections. It's really important, those first time connections, like, hey girl, I saw that we're friends. I don't remember how we became friends, but I just love meeting like-minded people. I'd love to get to know you better. Since we are friends, I'd like to be friends with you in real life. Like, I'm very simple. And then I say, I see that you have kids, or I see that you have a dog too, or I see that you work full time, or I see that you're married. Like, how long you been married for? Like, questions that you would relate to. You know, oh, I see you're an accountant. I'm an accountant too. Or I see that you're a teacher. Or like, I just try to like be like really like if I'm sitting with someone on the bus stop and it's just her and I, what questions would I ask her? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so to answer your question, if I've invited and they haven't responded, I literally have something that they always respond to, which is, hey girl, I've wrote you a couple times. I've seen that you saw my post and you haven't responded. I'm assuming that you're either busy or I've annoyed you, or, like something like that. I'm hoping that it's the first, because I get busy too, but I just can't help to reach out to you one last time, because I just wanted to make sure you knew that I was thinking of you and that you mattered. Because when people realize that they matter and that you're not just another person checking off the list, they're going to be like, oh, she really does care about me. Do you know what I mean? And then in that conversation, they might go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so busy. It's okay, girl. Like, I get it. And then I go back to what we were talking about. I remember last time we were talking about you were really struggling with X, or you were having a hard time at work, or whatever. Then I go back, restart the conversation. And then I say, I can't help but think that when you say that you're struggling with your weight or you're struggling with whatever, and then fill it in with a solution and be confident with that. And honestly, it's a gift that you're giving these people. So if they say no, they just aren't accepting your gift, which is fine. And I just move on. And then I just say, okay, well, maybe it's not a good time for you right now. Is there a better month that I can follow up with you? In the meantime, what can I do for you? Can I put you on a free list group? Meaning if I do my next free group, can I add you to that free list? So I always ask them that. Okay. If sometimes I have a newsletter. So I'll be like, I have a newsletter. Can I put you on that email list? Or, what is it that you're struggling with that I can help send you something your way? So I literally will offer them something, like if they're struggling with food and they say, well, I'm not right now. And then I go out and find, like, maybe they're gluten-free. I go out and find a gluten-free recipe and be like, hey girl, I just found this on Pinterest. I thought you might enjoy it. I'm doing something to serve them, not expecting anything in return, because I care about them. Does that make sense?
Right.
So this one right here is AKA relate to where they posted and what they said, or where they posted and what you have talked about in the past. So this is another way that I do it. These are called reach outs, you guys. These are non-negotiable. So that's part of the starting reach out with love. So the next step is reach out with love. Step 1 is add 1 to 3 new friends. Hold on one second. Let me finish this real quick. This says, hey girl, thank you so much for liking my post. It means so much to me to support in this new lifestyle, AKA my workout, or whatever it is, AKA my meals, AKA my personal development. Do you know what I mean? Something related back to the business that you've posted about, or just whatever, like being vulnerable with the story that you shared, relate to where they posted, like relate to something you have talked about in the past. Or ask questions to get to know them. Okay. Simple questions to get to know them. Always end with a question. Write that down. Always end with a question. Okay. So here's step 2. Reach outs, AKA above. I like to do 5 to 10 reach outs a day, but I want you to set a timer and just do it, because it's better to do 3 quality reach outs than 20. So set a timer and let's do 5 to 10 minutes. Simple. Okay. But if you want to get more conversations going and build relationships more, you put a little more time in this, because this is where your invites will come from too. Okay. So I say at least 10 to 15 minutes here. So far we're doing 1 to 3 new friends, 5 minutes. We're now going through our posts, looking through stuff, reach out, setting a timer for 15 minutes. We're at about 20 minutes. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. And it's just taking longer because I'm breaking it down with you. I'm like talking to you, but when you have a list and you just go right off of it, it's going to be easier. Okay. Now you're going to invite, okay, it says 2 to 5 people per week to the coaching opportunity. Here's the deal. However you do this, you got to be consistent with it. So for me, it's like a check system where it's just like, I wake up in the morning, I eat that frog, I do my 10 minutes of invites, and then I immediately invite someone to the coaching opportunity. Now here's the deal. There are some days where I feel super engaged and motivated and inspiring, I do a lot more invites on those days. There are some days where I'm not feeling it, I don't do it. And I know that that's against what everyone says, but the truth is, if you're not feeling it, it's going to be forced, and then it's going to be like a salesman. Does that make sense? So
Right.
when you are inspired and when you are like in it, you're going to send step 3, invite to the coaching opportunity. And this is where you need to look at calendar. So for example, for this month, we have, I think I wrote it down, we have a 5-day coach open house on the 17th. So we have a 17th open house. So you should be inviting to that right now. It is the 6th. Don't wait for me to be like, oh, start inviting a day before, because you should just be like, hey girl, have you ever considered this? Or you make such a great fit for this. And I have a script that is thebomb.com for every type of person that you might think, into fitness, not into fitness, good business owner, not a good business owner, like how you can invite them. What?
Sorry.
No,
I said, and that would be good because like I do have a small group of girls, and I did invite all of them individually to the coaching opportunity for like who were in my group that I'm coaching. So they're not like personally sponsored coaches. They're just customers. And so my challengers. And then, but I guess for people who aren't my challengers, how do you approach them, I guess, without sounding like...
I think that you are overthinking it, and you sound exactly like me, which is what I did before, which was like, how do you say it? You just say it. You simply go, have you ever thought about joining me? You are so into fitness. Like, have you ever thought about making fitness your business? Have you ever thought about, you are an awesome business owner, like you're amazing with your graphics and your pictures. Have you ever thought about running a social media business with me? I always try to relate to it. There's a lot of people that you'd be shocked if you waited, they're going to join someone else. Or if you didn't tell them, they're going to be like, oh, she never thought about that with me. But like, they didn't think that you believed in them. And it's not offensive if you say that to them. Just be like, and sometimes I even say what I'm thinking, like, this scares the crap out of me, but I'm going to ask you anyhow, because I get to choose to who I work with, and I want to choose you. So for example, if you look at my invite process, I always go to my challengers first. If I've already here's the problem. If you've already invited all of your challengers, then you need to look outside the box, because my best coaches do come from being challengers. But for example, I was just looking at my list and I was like, crap, I haven't talked to 4 of my challengers about coaching. That needs to be on my list today, because I'm not necessarily inviting challengers as coaches anymore. I'm getting them to be a challenger and then become a coach to see and benefit from the opportunity, which is totally fine. But then if that is done, if I'm done with my challengers, now where do I go? So now I look at my list of, I have a hot list, which is people that I want to be on my team that I've asked before in the past, and I will freaking re-invite them. I will say, I know I invited you 2 months ago, just putting a birdie in your ear. I still feel the same way about you. I want you to know how much I want you to be a part of this amazing community. It has changed my life because of X, Y, and Z, and I want you to be part of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
right.
I don't know if that, and again, my scripting, I do have scripts, but I really lead with my heart. So if I feel like nervous about something, I know that means I should probably invite them. If I feel like this person would never join me, and I don't ask, well, then I served I was like, I put that person in a box. Does that make sense?
Right.
So here's some tips. Don't choose for people. Let them choose, meaning let them decide. Let them decide if they're going to join you. Okay. My daughter is like screaming Frozen. Can you hear her?
I can hear her. Love it.
Okay. Let them know why you think they could be a great fit. Okay. These are just show them what this has done for you. And here's the thing is, if you are not making a bunch of money financially, don't feel afraid to say, this has helped there's a lot of people on our team that has some financial sex.
Okay.
I'm just starting, but here's what it's done for me. It's helped pay off my Shakeology. It's helped pay for a trip to a grocery store and pay for organic groceries. Like the extra $100 is helping me at Target every month. Like, I feel like we often devalue what we're doing and the successes we have because you're comparing to other people. So you don't know what it would mean to someone to be able to fill up their gas tank, right? Does that make sense? So
Right,
show them
right.
what this has done for you. Be excited, and then simply ask them, have you ever considered, and then fill in the blank, like being part of this community for support, building a business online, running a fitness business. I mean, there's so many different ways you can ask, right?
Right.
Is this making it a little bit clearer?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So then now we're on step 4. And we're only 25 minutes into this as I'm talking through this. So again, you're going to set a timer. The biggest thing I'm telling you right now is to be intentional. Do not be a squirrel. Do not go from one thing to the next and take 27 minutes to find 3 new people. You're going to know what your biggest struggle is, what it takes you the longest to do, and you'll get better at it as you start to work through it. So if you need help finding more people, start watching YouTube videos about how to find more people, or be brave. Like today, I literally invited my cabinet guy to join me. He was watching me do P90X, not P90X. He thought I was doing P90X. I was doing Insanity Max 30. And he's like, are you doing that P45? And I was like, what is he talking about? And then he was like, what do you do? And he was like, why are you working from your house? And I'm like, working out. And I'm like, well, I like to work out from my house. And I wasn't going to do it because I was in my workout pants. I was kind of embarrassed to do it in front of him. But I was like, I only have a certain amount of time. I have the call with you guys at 10 o'clock. And then it was random because he's like, do you always work out from home? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, and that's when I said, I actually run a fitness business. And he goes, a fitness business? Like, what do you do? And I was like, I help people get happier and healthier. And they can either run a business or I help them just in their lives. And he goes, I need that. And I was like, well, tell me a little about yourself. He's like, well, I have a gym that's a mile away from my house and I don't go because I work 60 hours a week. And I said, here's the question. He said something to the extent that he doesn't make time for himself. And I'm like, well, just don't wait. Promise me this. Don't wait until you're sick to ask for help. And he said, wow, you're good. I was like, don't wait till you're sick or on medication to start asking for help. That is like 10 years down the road when you've already established all these bad habits and your heart disease is irreversible. Start now. And he goes, what do you do? And then I opened up my container and I said, this is a Shakeology sample. Here, I want you to take this home. I want you to try it. I told him how to try it. I gave him my business card, which by the way was so cheap to make. And it is, and in the past I'm like, I don't want to give those cards out because they're not professional looking. They don't have my picture on them, but here they are. Literally, oh wait, wrong camera.
Yes.
It says Shakeology. So we talked about the benefits of Shakeology, and then on the back it says this. Team Beachbody. It has my name, my email. He doesn't have Facebook. I made sure I asked him. Otherwise I would have added him. And I have his phone number and texting, and I gave him some samples. So I'm going to text him tomorrow and be like, hey, did you try your Shakeology? How did you like it? And then he said, well, how much does this cost? And I said, the question you should be asking yourself is, how much is it worth it to you? How much is worth it to you to get healthier? And then he's like, yeah. And I said, how much do you pay for gym membership? And then we just had a conversation, and he's like, I'm really excited about this. And then I joked around with him and I said, you drink your Shakeology. Okay, I'll give this to you for free. I normally charge people $5 each for their packets. You get my cabinets here next week instead of 3, and we'll talk. And you can have all these 3 samples for free. And he's like, deal. Because they're like backed up in the office and they weren't going to get my cabinets back. And that's it. I'm just bold. I'm just brave. I'm just putting myself out there. I normally wouldn't have done that, but can you do that? Absolutely. Be bold, be proud, be excited. Okay. Understand? All right. So now the thing is now we've been doing reach outs. Now we've invited new people we've added new friends. Now we're inviting to the coach opportunity. I do these kind of incongruent with each other. Now you're going to invite to your challenge groups. Okay. I told you this yesterday, and I feel like this needs to be at least 15 minutes, which would put us about 35. I don't know why. I'm not yelling at you. It's just on caps lock, okay? I think that this is where people get stuck. So here is my tips to you. Stop getting stuck and just invite. Just set a timer and the thing is if you ask a lot of questions, you're going to get a lot of answers. Meaning if you ask more about people, stop talking about yourself and start listening. So then you can, when you do listen, you can say, I feel that way too. I understand. I used to be depressed too, or I used to struggle with my weight. Or, I mean, Shinkle, is that your last name, right? Allison
Yeah.
Shinkle. How much weight have you lost?
117 pounds.
117 pounds. You can't freaking tell me that she can't relate to someone that feels extremely like, I don't know, unhealthy, unhappy, like they're stuck, like they don't know what's going on. But can I relate to someone that's 117 pounds overweight? No, I can't. You have a gift, my friend, and you have something to give back to people, that this has completely changed your life. And if you're not leading with the fact that your life has changed and your physical, that is what I'm talking about. But each one of us has to find that thing, you could be a perfect person, Allison, that works with, people that are 50 plus pounds overweight that got their life back. You don't have to work, not that it matters, but I'm just saying your tribe of women could be people that want to change, that need help, that are stuck, that aren't just needing to lose 10 pounds. Do you know what I'm talking about? And
Right.
so I would search for people that because you get that and you feel that and you understand that. So Julia and Mandy, we all have our thing. For me, you know how much heavily I talk about personal development. I'm starting to open up more and more about my severe anxiety, that I would go to school and I couldn't even make it through the day without going to the bathroom and having a panic attack. I only had one full blown panic attack, but I had lots of mini attacks and lots of ones that were almost there where I was like, I'm literally, I feel like I'm gonna skin is crawling out. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's, the more you talk about it, the more you realize there's a lot of people out there like you. So this being said, I don't lead with that and be like, oh, Beachbody's helped me and I used to have anxiety attacks and that's what it is. But when I ask people, when I'm in these 5-step invite processes and I'm asking them, are you into health and fitness too? Or how do you feel like you're putting yourself first? Or do you feel like you're giving yourself lots of love? Or I saw on your post that you're struggling, or whatever it is, because I've had these conversations with them. This is where the nitty and the gritty happens, where you're really talking to people and getting to know them. So get to know them. Let me do this. Okay. So here's some tips. Get to know them by asking a lot of questions. And if you're questioning what to say, how to say it, I did a call last night on scripts. So I will get that up and get that posted. But I really believe that this is about, I think there is a funnel that you do need to get to know them, form them, okay? Family, occupation, whatever, get to know them, ask lots of questions. And then at the end, you're sending them actually sending a message, which is, listen, I can be here for you, but they're going to listen to you because they know you, they like you, and then they trust you. We know that, right? So you have to build know, like, and trust in this. Unless, and you guys know this, I'm going to be very honest with you. Of course, there's people in this business that have people coming to them every single day. But in the beginning, we had to all start this way. Like someone that has 100,000 people on their page, or 30,000 people on their page, or 10,000 people on their page. Did they just wake up one day and have 10,000 people? No, they had to put themselves out there. They had to build themselves. So whether you're inviting off your personal page or your like page, you have to build know, like, and trust. But you have to get to know people by asking lots of questions. And then here's the thing, serve them or answer or help them by serving them, okay? By offering a solution for them. Here's the key that relates to their story, okay? That helps them, not your story, their story. And then say, what's it called? A conversation, I heard this one time. A conversation equals, dang it. Let me see, hold on one second. I think I've told you this before, but let me get this. I have to look on my phone because I wrote it down like years ago. Okay, so a conversation consists of, so you're going to have a conversation with these people. That's what inviting is just having a conversation. It means a comment, okay? So you're going to make a comment with them. You're going to make a compliment about them. And then a question equals a conversation. That should be your goal every single time when you're inviting. Does that make sense? Does that make a little bit more sense? So you're not just, so ask yourself, go look at your I want you to do this. I want you to be a business owner. I want you to be a person that can take some constructive criticism. Go back and look at your conversations. Were you giving them compliments about something that they're doing? Were you actually asking them questions, or was it more about you than them? Okay. Did you jump the gun a little bit? They didn't get to know, like, and trust you before that you invited them. But here's the thing. I talked about this last night. Our goal is obviously to have cold market people come to us because they know our like page. They like us. They say, I'm ready to join you. I feel like I know you. But in the real world, that's not happening every single month, right? That's our goal ultimately. But in the real world, you have to have invites. You have to have conversations. And if you don't, you're never going to be at the level of where you want to be, which is getting people into your challenge groups and working with you and offering a solution to problems and truly affecting people's lives. Okay. So the next thing is, so now we have added people to our network. We have offered the coach opportunity. We have offered, now we're inviting to our challenge groups. Here's another thing. I don't think I need to tell you this, but if you're offering a challenge group, then you better be like starting one. you better have one, right? And you don't have to do this all alone. This is a great strategic business. You can do it with another person, but make sure that you set yourself up to be a leader and that you help run it and that you co-lead. I know that Jill Hubbard does this with a lot of her coaches, and she does great co-leading challenge groups, and those work great. Okay, so now this is the busy stuff, which I would like to say at the end, that you can knock these out really quickly. That's going to take the longest amount of time. Okay, so whether you break it up, that's 4 steps. You can break it up to 10, 10, 10, and 10. That's simple. Now you're going to respond to messages, and I feel like you need to have a system. Okay, because like when you get to a certain level in the business, you're going to get a lot of messages, and you're going to feel a little overwhelmed, or you're going to accidentally ignore people. So for me, I answer my challengers first. Like, I look in the morning, if any of my challengers sent me a message, I answer them. So now you're gonna step 5. So but we have like 20 minutes left. This should take 5 minutes or like 5 minutes. We can do even 10 minutes because it's not gonna be, whatever, I don't know. That's not step 10, that's step 5, what am I doing? Would be respond to messages. And here's the thing, is I'm not going to have a system in place of what order. So I do like challengers, then I do prospects, okay? I want to make sure I respond to all my prospects. Then I do PS coaches. Then I do everyone else, which would be like people on my downline, random people that are sending me random things. And sometimes I have an inbox that's full and sometimes I don't, but I try to keep it at that, okay? Have I missed people? Absolutely. Have I struggled with that? Absolutely. But if you have a system every day where you're responding to your messages, and I don't want to put a time frame because I feel like everyone has different amounts of messages. Do you know what I mean? You have to set it up for yourself. Okay. The next thing is you check. You have got to do this every single day. Check the team pages. Okay. This also includes, like, if you check the team page, you look at it, you see anything, any announcements, if I did a live video or someone went in there or like whatever. Now you need to check. I don't like to do, there's certain things, these are the things that I do every day. So I check the team page. I check my challenge group. That's kind of important, right?
So I have a question.
Yes.
For like, I'm trying to figure out a system in order to keep track of things because I feel like I'm losing people because like so many people have contacted me that I feel like people are falling between the cracks. So, I mean, I get that I'm probably going to have to find something that works for me, but is there something that you do? Like, is it just old school paper and pencil, or is there a program?
Yeah, I've tried a lot of tracking systems, and I'm not the person to talk to about this because I feel really bad because I have started and failed everyone and everyone's eyes in the sense of like, have it work for me. I've tried Asana. I think that could work for some people. I've tried Excel sheets. I think that can work for people. But for me, it's good old pen and paper and going back to my messages and picking a day. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, I make sure I scroll through all my messages and then I add them to a paper list and I put them in my binder. So any challengers that I'm talking to, any coaches that I'm talking to, any prospects that I'm talking to, I'll go into a binder, and I try to at least update that once a week. Is it perfect? No, but it's better than doing nothing.
Okay.
That's what's working for me. Okay, so check into your challenge group. I also check into my challenge groups at the end of the day for an extra, bonus, just to make sure I'm liking their stuff. But the first 4 and like up to 4, you should be doing that every single day. Okay. 5, respond to messages. You could wait a day or 2, but you should do that too. Check team pages. Like, you should do that, but if you did that 5 days a week, that's better than not doing. That's better than not doing these every day. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like in a hierarchy, because you might not have time to schedule your social media for the next day, because I do that like on a Sunday. These are just ideas that I do. So then these are the things that I make sure that I have done weekly. So that's a power hour that I do, is I know like social media content. And that's simply by me saying, okay, what do I want to talk about this week? Anything happen? I just put ideas on a paper. Some days will be better than others. I'll have lots of ideas, and I want to make sure I write those down. If I'm doing any type of trainings, like right now I'm doing a like page training. I'm also doing this other training that I'm doing that I've been terrible with, that I need to like figure out what time to do it. And then I try to do something out of my comfort zone every day. Now I know that says weekly, but I'm telling you, and typically that's in my invites or a post. So it's either in an invite or a post. Okay. So, and that's it. I feel like if you put yourself out there, and then obviously with this, in congruence with this, is your personal development and your workouts. Okay. But the bottom line is, ladies, is you've got to get excited about something. You got to share, you got to get stoked, and you got to have the behind the scene conversations to get your affinity up and to let them know that you care about them and that they matter and that you're not forgetting about those people. The key thing is that I see the most is that you're just not doing a power hour, and you kind of randomly invite here and there, or you're inviting and doing the same thing, and what you're doing is not working. So you need to change it up. So simply make a list and just check it. Okay, 2 to 5 people I've added. Now I've added reach out with love. I've connected with people. I've done some reach outs. Okay, I've done, I'm telling you right now that these numbers, this number, 2 to 5 people per week for challenge group, 2 to 5 people per day. So this is per week. The more that you up that, the more likely you're going to get a yes. And that is the truth. But I'm not here to tell you, you need to invite 25 people a day at all costs, because I've been there before and I did not like it when people told me that. I want you to lead with love and lead with joy, and everyone's different in this business, what they want. I want you to push yourself out of your comfort zone and get a little uncomfortable, but don't compromise your priorities. Meaning, if you've been inviting for 5 hours and your daughter's been asking you to hang out with you for an hour and you ignore her, that's not that to me would be something that I wouldn't want you to do. Do you know what I mean? And if you have to ask yourself, okay, if you're legitimately telling me, okay, I am inviting and I am doing this and this is not working, you need to go back and look at your conversations and have someone else look at your conversations and share the screen with someone on a Zoom call and be like, what would you have said differently? Because I think it's always good. I ask that with my peers. I ask that with my coaches and be like, I've been getting a lot of no's lately. Can you tell me if you think that it's just a season that we're going through, or if it's something that I can do differently? I think that that's really important. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to stop the share. Anyone else have any comments or anything they'd like to say?
I feel like I'm overwhelmed with team pages, back office, challenge group, all of that, and then getting to inviting. So I think like what you said last night is to make that inviting a priority and do that first thing.
Yes.
The second thing I wanted to say was, I see that you use Buffer. Tell me about that a minute.
It's just a program that I use to, like, if I'm going out of town or if I'm feeling really busy that week, you can schedule your posts. And I schedule, like, for example, when I was out of town, I scheduled all my social media posts, the training that I did with you guys. I scheduled all my challenge groups. I try to keep my live page, my like page, and my personal page live, meaning I don't schedule any posts on my like page very much, not that I don't think that you can't, but I just like to do it differently. I feel like it saves a lot of time if you know what you're going to post. Okay. And there's no difference in a challenge group if you show up. Well, that's not true, but so I use it for when I'm out of town and when I'm really busy for the week. I don't use it all the time because I feel like you can rely on that too much and then it takes the personable out of you. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So for a challenge, for example, I feel like you need to show up live more often than not. You do need to post live. You do need to show up and share your workouts. You do need to share what you're eating. But it's okay to have a buffered post in the morning. But there are some times when your people are going to be like, what is this buffer thing? And why is she posting it? I feel like it takes a little bit of you out of it. Does that make sense? And if you heavily only rely, I mean, there's people that only rely on buffer or what's the other one that people use? I can't think of it right now.
See, I tried Hootsuite and it's ugly.
Yes, and a buffer you do have to pay a little bit. And I don't remember if it's free for one or free for two. It's not super expensive. I would say that it benefits people that work full time, people that have a super busy schedule, people that, let me look at it right now and see what it says.
Okay.
But I feel like it's definitely something that could benefit you if you used it in the way that you used it less than 50% of the time. Does that make sense? But for example, I'm leaving a Punta Cana and I'm leaving to Disney World, and and that's going to be for 12 days. And I cannot, like, the beauty of this business is busting my butt now, setting my hours, working with you, helping my coaches get where they need, working my business, doing the stuff that I need before, so then I can use buffer to help me. And then go in live after that, like post my stuff, post my workouts. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, see, I had both of my grandkids all week last week. And when I have them, I struggle.
Right. I think that that's normal.
Okay.
Because
well, I've raised 3 boys, but I only raised them one at a time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're
2.
Yeah. So this says sign up for free.
So everybody's laughing at me. I get it.
No, this says sign up for free. Let me see. I think if you have I would just check it out. It's on.
Okay.
I think it's pretty easy to do, and they have some like a YouTube video on it. Like, it's super easy. Yeah, just go. I think that let me see.
Because I was thinking if I could just even schedule
it says it's free.
Early morning posts. Okay.
I think it says it's free. I think that if you do it a little bit less than you show up live, then it's totally fine. Like, maybe you plan Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or maybe if you're like going on vacation, plan the whole time. Or maybe if you have your grandkids there, you plan on the days that they're there. So then you know what's going up, and then you can go in later and do that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, Kiana, can't you schedule it through Facebook too? Is it better to do it the buffer than doing it through Facebook scheduling?
I don't know that you can schedule.
You can't schedule in a group through
not
Facebook.
In a group.
Okay, just on your personal
like
page.
You can.
Okay.
And now they're trying to figure out for a personal page if you can. But I find that if you post buffer on a personal page, it's very impersonal. Very impersonal. So don't do that. But in your groups, as long as you're like, for example, all my group posts went up I had a morning post and then I had a check-in post all the time that I was gone on my vacation. But in between those times, I still posted a live video. I posted my food. I talked to them about how I was trying to stay on track. And I went in there a couple times a day, but that's the only thing I did with you guys in my social media and a team page, and then my challenge groups. I didn't do any power hours when I was on vacation, because that's just, guess what? I get to choose how I want to run my business, and that's what I do, So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, Julie, I think it definitely benefit when you have your grandkids there, when you have your really busy week. So like, I definitely like, if I know that I have like lots of appointments, or I'm like running from morning till night and it's just crazy, 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 I schedule my posts, because I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I also, when I went to leadership last year, there was a whole training about how you you can overschedule yourself, and then it makes you take less personal, and then people look at you and think you're a robot, and they don't.
Right.
You might say something. So if you plan your month ahead, for example, you might say something next week that's not necessarily true, and they saw you the day before struggling, and now you're like, this is amazing, this is great, you can do this, and you're like, wait a second, like, who is this person? Is she bipolar? Do you know what I mean? So they were just talking. Yeah.
For me, I have a coffee following, so I schedule on my like page an entire month out my coffee posts for 6 a.m. every morning.
But that makes sense because that's your tribe and that's who you are, and that doesn't matter because that doesn't.
But it's kind of just like an inspirational thing or whatever. But like my workouts and all of that, I do live.
Well, that makes sense. That's totally great. So you should just do the same type of thing with your challenge groups.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps or.
It does. It helps tremendously, actually.
Awesome. Who is your coach, Julia?
Vanessa Gray signed me.
Oh, okay. And you're on Jill's downline.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Jill
cool.
is her coach.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I think that I gave you some good stuff. I hope that helped you. Take this, please, and start using it. I'm telling you right now, it's the same thing. You're going to feel a lot. I'm telling you, I'm just going to relate this to meal planning. If you meal plan your week, how much better do you feel? Like if you practically meal plan your week. If you have no clue what you're doing, when you show up to your business, expect to be a hot mess, chaotic disaster. And some days you might be okay because you might eat that healthy meal, but most of the time you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be upset that you didn't plan things, and you're going to be a disaster. So if you do nothing else than the day, you have to do your personal development because that's going to set your foundation if you do nothing else. If you're like, hands up, I just can't do this anymore. I quit today. I'm not going to quit tomorrow, but I quit today. Do your personal development, okay? But you're not going to do that because you're going to rock it. Then you're going to go exactly to what I said. You're going to start adding friends every day. So you're going to do step 1 to 4, non-negotiable, and maybe even when you're in your bed laying down before you get up for your workout. I don't know. You can add your new friends. You can check in with your challengers, invite them to the coaching opportunity. You can invite that one person or 2 people that scares the crap out of you. You want them to be part of your team. What happened?
Oh.
Why do you have your pants down? You need a potty? Oh, you need to button them. You want to say hi? Oh my goodness. Oh, look at her.
Hey.
Say hi, guys. Oh. Don't stick your tongue at them. Say hi. Tell them what day today is.
It's Daddy's birthday.
It's Daddy's birthday today.
Yay.
And Daddy is working all day, so we're going to make a cake, right?
Nice.
We're going to make a cake? Don't act like you're shy. You are not shy. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's it, guys. We made it under an hour. I have no doubt that if you just do steps 1 through step 4, and then the other thing I was going to say, step 5, hold on, I think it was step 5. So step 5 to the rest, you can do those like every other day. But just know that as a leader, it really means a lot to me to see other leaders step up on our team page. If you find something, if you see something, so sometimes I feel like the weight of a leader is heavy and I'm showing up and getting excited and being motivated and trying those things. But I'm a real human being and I struggle too. And when I'm not super uber, I don't have everything perfect to say. And I go silent in the group page for a couple days, everyone else goes silent. And I'm like, what is going on? And I know it's my job and I know it's me, but understand I'm human and I struggle too. And so I would really appreciate it if you saw like the momentum slow a little bit, or you had something aha during your personal development or something where you can step it up, because I feel like that's what a true community is. And that's, I want our team page, which I truly believe is like to be a challenge group where if someone's struggling, you can be like, hey girl, are you okay? Or I'm here for you. I'm going to post in here. So always feel like it's not me, the leader, and you guys down here. Like we're all leading this team together. This is a community. I want you all to feel significant, important. I know some of you have more belief in yourself and more confidence in yourself, but that's through hours and hours of personal development. I love this team. I literally posted an I am Team Beachbody. I meant every single word that, like, literally this business has helped me cope in a healthier way. Surround myself with people like you that get it. But don't ever doubt your greatness or doubt that you can make a change, even in my life, because I really do appreciate you and I want you to know that, okay? I know that sometimes I put on a good face. I know sometimes I say the right things, but sometimes I still struggle. Sometimes I have hard months. Sometimes I have to figure out how to say things to people and what to say and reinvent myself. So I'm learning with you. So know that, okay? And I hope that makes you feel a little better, that even 5 years in the business, I don't have it all together. I'm still learning, okay?
Right.
Any other questions or any other comments, guys? No? Mandy, you've been quiet. Are you okay?
Just
You're okay?
listening, absorbing.
Okay. I'm just making sure that you weren't like, I didn't like, okay. I was like, sometimes I make people cry,
Yeah.
but it's happy cry, not sad
Yes,
cry.
exactly.
I just want to make sure that you're not crying, or I don't think you're crying, but you're like
Almost,
you're
but not
soaking
quite.
it in. You're like motivated, not like, oh, you know what I mean? That
No,
means a lot.
definitely needed this today. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So I hope that helps. So I'm going to I have to post 2 videos, the team call from last night and this call. But I appreciate you guys hopping on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do this. Mandy, you know our PS calls are on Thursday mornings at 10. I think I'm going to try to do this once a month with the team to try to help you guys just break it down. I've never really done it. Like, I actually was going to get on the computer last night and write everything out. This I completely winged, and I feel like it actually was organically better than what I've done before, because then I don't have to. And it's not that I have a problem as a teacher, like trying to wing things. Does that make sense? And sometimes winging things is better than the actual, like having everything planned. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I hope that you got value out of it. And if you can take 1 or 2 things from it, step 1 to step 4, more often than not, like if you're struggling in one of those steps, figure out why it's not working. If you don't have a success partner or you don't have someone you can talk to, look at the people that showed up today. You should start talking to them. You should start saying, hey, let's work on step 1 or step 2 or step 3 together. Let's bounce some ideas off each other. I don't freaking have all the answers, guys. All I know is I just keep trying and keep failing and keep moving forward, okay? So you're going to do the same. You're going to
Allie's my girl.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. All right? Thanks
Have
for
a good day.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.